everybody put so much hard work and so much of their heart into this, and we're so pleased to be able to share this with you. I want to thank some very special people, and I want to ask Tanya to please come up. Tanya was the director of the show tonight, and we want to acknowledge her for all the work that she did.
First of all, I want to thank all of you guys for coming out and supporting the abolition of human trafficking and modern-day slavery in Canada. It really touches my heart to see so many of you guys here. And I also want to thank this girl, because I could not have done this without her, because she is invaluable and amazing. And I'd also like to thank all of you guys, all the rappers, dancers, actors. You guys are so amazing. And just thank you for helping this dream come true. And also to the lighting guys, Andrew and Dave, you guys are awesome. And I'd also just like to thank Chandos Patterson for having us and for donating this beautiful auditorium for us to share modern day slavery in Canada. So. When I first heard about Freedom Week from Tara, I was working for MP Joy Smith in Ottawa, and she is a major abolitionist in Canada. And when she told me she was doing Freedom Week, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so excited. What can I do? You know, because I've been researching for years about human trafficking, and it's always been such a passion on my heart. And this is just something that I could use my own talents and my own abilities to do something about this problem and to raise awareness. And so, yeah, that was really my heart for the show. It's just to, you know, share human trafficking with as many people as possible, and just to touch your hearts and maybe spur some action hopefully from some people. And yeah, just thank you so much for coming out and supporting the abolition of slavery. It's a really good cause. It's something that it's hard. It's a hard topic, and you know, but I think that it's really important that people acknowledge that this exists and that this happens, and that we fight for justice, we stand up against it, and we're like, no, this is not okay, and we're going to do something about it. So, thank you so much for coming, and I hope you guys enjoyed this show.
Now, don't run away yet, Tanya, because I have something special for you, and for Callie, who is the director of the volunteers. I'm not sure where she is. Can someone grab Callie for us? I want to thank you for all the countless hours that you put into this show, and I know it's a very small token of our appreciation, but thank you so much for everything. I really appreciate it all. And for Callie, we have to recognize Callie as well. Callie is my director of volunteers for the entire Freedom Week. Everybody who has been a part of putting this together, it is such a team effort, and Callie has worked for weeks and weeks to mobilize everybody, find them jobs, tell them, you know, wear black shoes tonight, all those kinds of things. She has taken care of every little detail flawlessly, and I want to recognize you and everything that you've done so much. We also want to recognize one more special guest that we have tonight. Tonight was a free for you to come, but any donations that you have made tonight is going to go directly to the victims and the stories so that this does stop and it no longer happens in Canada and around the world. So I want to ask Jamie McIntosh, the founder and CEO of IJM Canada, to come up and share a few words for us. So you give him a round of applause.
Thank you, Tara. I just want to say, first of all, thank you very much for putting your heart, your soul, and your passion into this evening. I've been involved in the work of fighting slavery for about 9 years now, and what you packed in tonight was just explosive, and it was pretty dynamic, and I think it's going to propel a lot of us deeper into the work. So thank you so much for doing it with such a level of professionalism and just really from a very deep place. Thank you so much for that. I just want to share a couple of things in the few moments that we have remaining tonight. The stories that you saw tonight depict the heinous reality of human trafficking. This was focused on human trafficking as it exists here in our own soil. And I've seen human trafficking face to face. I've met with victims in places in Cambodia, in Thailand, in different locations in India. And it is a brutal reality that the UN Office on Drugs and Crimes pegs at some $32 billion in annual revenue goes to the traffickers. It is booming business in our world today. It's beginning to vie for pride of place at number 2 or number 3 in terms of organized criminal activity, the profits thereof, up there with illegal arms dealing and just behind drug smuggling. So it's something where people are being turned into a commodity, as you heard tonight. It's real, it's repulsive, and what you heard shared tonight is the reality, where victims of human trafficking, they're promised a dream, and they're delivered a nightmare. And it's up to us, who have a voice, who have influence, who have resources, who have lives, to lift up our voices for the voiceless, to do something, to intervene, to stand in the gap, to say that this must stop, that human trafficking can no longer exist, not on our watch. There was a young man named Thomas Clarkson who, when he was 23 years of age, he tried to win a prestigious Latin essay contest at the University of Cambridge. And he says that he entered into this contest with no greater desire than to win this award and the prestige that came along with it. But along the way, what he began to uncover, the contest was about slavery. He began to uncover the realities of slavery in the mid-1800s, and it horrified him. And he couldn't sleep at night, and he decided that at one point he was riding down to London to start his career. He was so distressed at the realities that he saw, like I hope some of us tonight, all of us would be, about the realities that you guys brought home to us tonight. He was so distressed that he had to get off of his horse, and he would wander around, and he was inconsolable. And he said, as I reflected on these realities, it occurred to me that if these calamities were true, that it was high time that someone should see these calamities to their end. And for the next 40 or 50 years of his life, he began to ride on horseback all throughout the United Kingdom, raising awareness and sounding alarm about human trafficking. And along with guys like William Wilberforce and others, they brought the institution of human trafficking in their day to its knees. But see, they had to win the moral argument against slavery, because nobody really thought it was wrong. They had to win the economic argument. They had to win the legal argument. Without any of the tools that existed, they fashioned them, and they fought slavery in their day. Or you could scroll forward to the Underground Railroad, where Canadians began to realize that slavery was happening in the deep U.S. South, and slaves in the northern regions were being dragged back down to work as slaves. And Canadians banded together with some good folks in the U.S. and helped some 30 or 40,000 slaves find their freedom in Canada. But today there are some 30,000 child sex slaves in Cambodia alone. So we've got our work cut out for us, but I think as we've seen tonight, there are many people here in this great country who are rising to the challenge, who will say, I'm going to dedicate whatever it is within me, whether it's lifting my voice. You can sign a postcard that we have on a table at the back outside to tell your MP, hey, pay attention to human trafficking today. Let's fight it. You can lift up your voice in the arts. You can research, get a hold of some books. You can use tools like Twitter. You can follow IJM at IJM Canada, or look on Facebook, or follow Freedom Week 2011. Find out ways that, like Tara, you can lift your voice for the voiceless. And I just want to say one other thing, that some of you may also be called to walk with the wounded until they're made whole. I like the story of Taman Nagy, and that was based on a true story. how she founded this organization, Walk With Me, to help walk with people out of the darkness into the daylight. If we stand together, we can make sure that human trafficking, that nightmare, bleeds into daylight, and a new day will dawn. Thank you very much, and God bless you, Tara, and everyone.
So thank you so much for being part of the solution. I believe that we all have a part to play, and that's what Freedom Week is all about. So please, before you leave, sign some of the cards that IJM has. There's also a petition that you might have signed or seen when you came in. This is a petition going to our government, the House of Commons in Canada, and is asking them to have a national action plan to combat human trafficking so this no longer happens in Canada. Right now we don't have national strategy, but we need this because I was speaking with Tamia, as you know, she's a real life story. She's a real person who walked through this just about a decade ago here in Canada, and she lives right now in Ontario. And I've been speaking with her this week, and she was telling me how, last night, 10 victims we found. The week before that, we found 20 victims, and then there's a new case in Canada, but the police, we haven't even been able to look at yet, 60 victims. And so that's why she works every day with Walk With Me, to find these people and to walk with them as they are recovered and rescued and rehabilitated. And I think that is so amazing. And as we were talking, myself and Tamia, she said, it doesn't matter what brought us here or why we decided to fight, but that we fight. So thank you for being part of that. And please continue as we fight for justice. Please continue with us. Freedom Week, we still have 2 more events that are happening. Tomorrow night at Christian Life Assembly, there's going to be a play, Limbo. It's about human trafficking. You can get some more information about that. And as well on Saturday, this message, the voice of the slaves, it is crying out, and it is getting so loud that it cannot be ignored. And so I'm going to raise my voice, and I'm asking all of you, will we all join together and raise our voice? Saturday morning, we're taking it to the streets. And we are going to march, and we are going to make sure that they know that justice and freedom are for all people. Not in Canada anymore is this going to happen. People are not commodities. They're not to be bought and sold. And quite frankly, not on my watch will this continue anymore. We have to do something. So I hope that you have been inspired. I hope that you have been moved tonight. And I hope that you will join with us tomorrow, and especially on Saturday, as we walk and we make sure that everybody knows this must end in Canada. Thank you so, so much for coming. It means so much. And we'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much.